are the one to win, you are the one to impress, and you are the one that others must prove themselves to. Hey Baddie, welcome back to the Baddest You podcast, where every listen takes you to the baddest version of yourself. I am your Baddie level up coach, Ambria, and in today's episode, we're talking about how to be whole all on your own feminine energy principles. Checking out on my Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Ambria. Check out the Baddest You podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, and let's get into today's episode. So how do we be whole all on our own? Okay, being whole all by yourself is a huge aspect of feminine energy, and feminine energy is the focus on oneself. It's yin energy. It's an energy of attracting and being magnetic. And this is how we want to be in life, especially as young women, because the more we focus on giving to ourselves, adding to ourselves, the more we're going to attract the life of our dreams, the person of our dreams, all of the above. And that's why it is so important to be whole on your own. When we're not whole on our own, we find ourselves chasing things, putting things on pedestals, and making other things the prize when we are in fact the prize, because it is our lives. I'm going to give you guys 6 tips today on how you guys can maintain being whole all on your own so you can be the feminine energy in your life and attract the life of your dreams. The first step to attracting and being whole on your own is keeping a routine. Keeping a routine that is dedicated towards your well-being, towards elevating in life, leveling up, towards your goals, staying focused, grounded in your worth, and on a trajectory towards a better version of yourself. Now, this can be done by going to the gym and focusing on eating healthy, drinking lots of water, making sure you're getting your 8 hours of sleep at night, waking up early, whatever it is that you need to do to maintain healthy habits and a lifestyle dedicated towards being a better you. These things are so important because it's actually adding to you while at the same time helping you guys to get to the life that you want. And when you're focusing on things like going to the gym, bettering yourself, you're not as focused on the things that don't deserve your energy around you, distractions, drama, things that are beneath your caliber, right? And you're focused on yourself, you're operating at a higher vibration, and you're attracting much better to you. Your body looks better, you're healthier, you're vibrating at a higher frequency, and so you're gonna start attracting way better in life. And what this does, especially when it comes to your dating life, this makes you more of a catch because you're looking better, you're feeling better, and this also makes you more magnetic because all your focus is not on another person. Okay, so when you're dedicating towards yourself, going on your daily walks, whatever it is that you need to do, what it does is make you the top priority. So make sure you guys are having some type of daily routine. This can also be a morning routine where you're meditating, listening to affirmations, having a night routine when you're reading a book, drinking some tea, but making sure you're having a routine that is consistently helping you guys to stay focused on being a better version of yourself so that you can be better for you and you can also be better for the world you're about to step into. So the next step when it comes to being whole on your own is having your own money, having your own type of financial stability, or having an awareness of financial literacy. A lot of times, and I'm a person who advocates for having a provider partner, but I always feel like a lot of times women, we find ourselves sometimes being in situations where we are too reliant on a partner financially, and this can actually be at a fault for us because we don't really know sometimes people's true intentions. A lot of times people can manipulate with money. I always think it's better to be with a partner with money, but it's better to have your own money at the same time. So whether this is being a stay-at-home mom, but also having your own business, or being a person who at least has some type of savings, it's always good to make sure you have your own money. You never want to move in with a person if you do not have your own financial standing. It's just important to make sure because people are crazy in this world and we got to do what we got to do to take care of ourselves and to protect ourselves when situations come in our lives. So whether this is going to work and choosing to still work, or having your own business, or just simply going back to school, getting an education, take it as it resonates, these things are going to keep you having your own form of a healthy financial life, which every single woman needs, whether you're going to be with a provider partner or not, which I highly recommend you do because we don't want to settle for less. I always say your money is your money and their money is our money. His money is our money, okay? Make sure you guys also have your own life vision and your own plan outside of anybody else, right? You don't want to completely depend on a man or on a person for where your life is going to end up. I think it's good to be with a person that has a plan, but it's very important to make sure that you're staying grounded in the things you want to attract for yourself. Whether that looks like having your vision board or getting clear on the things you want to attract into your life within the next year, 3 years, 5 years. Do you want to be a mom? Do you want to be a doctor? Whatever it is, right? Like having an idea for yourself where you are headed without anybody else being a part of that. And if life changes in a better way and somebody adds to that, that's amazing and that's fine, but you never want to fully be dependent on somebody else for determining your future. And I always recommend, just to all women, be financially literate. Whether you take a financial literacy course I just took on recently, I'm back in school, so it was really good. Learning about budgeting, learning about taxes, learning about credit cards, learning about bank account balances, all of the above, right? Learning about these things are important. Learning about savings. These things are very important to know on your own. I actually am intending to have a financial expert come on my podcast soon, so don't worry about that. I got you guys. But in the meantime, make sure that you're doing your own education. There's great books. I'm reading Rich Dad Poor Dad right now as well. There's great books you guys can read just to keep yourself financially literate and aware so that you're not completely dependent, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom as well. Like, you should still make sure that you are part of some type of plan with your husband or partner so that they can be able to still financially take care of you. And in the case of divorce or something, like, you have a plan. You're not just like, left with nothing. Like, he's legally obligated to put some of his money into a savings for you, so on. So make sure you guys are just aware of that so that you're not finding yourselves being stuck or financially in a place that you have to start over or that you're just not at an advantage. So the next step to being whole on your own is taking care of your own emotional and mental health. I feel like for some women who may struggle with depression, anxiety, and things like that, like, it's a lot easier sometimes to rely on a partner or on other people to help you to get into your own well-being. But it's so important to make sure that you're doing this for yourself as well. Like, you don't want to find yourself not being able to stand on your own in case something happens to this person or they leave you or whatever. It's important to invest in therapy, invest in inner child healing, make sure that you are talking to people. The easiest, freest way that you guys can actually deal with your emotions is just by journaling, just getting it out of your head. This is going to be something that's really great for your emotional and mental health. And it's just going to help you guys to, sometimes when you see things on paper, it's like, okay, it's not even that deep. Like, why was I stressing, right? So it'll help you guys to feel more free. It'll help you guys to feel more abundant mentally and emotionally, and to also not rely too much on another person, because life is crazy. There's going to be a lot of moments, you guys can attest to this, where you're like left on your own and like you have nobody sometimes to help you emotionally or mentally, and you have to stand on your own. You can't find yourself crumbling in these moments. These moments that come in our lives, they're helping us to become stronger. So you want to make sure you're able to handle every obstacle that's thrown at you. So whether you need to journal, whether you need to get a therapist, these things are going to be very helpful for you. Another thing that's going to help you guys in terms of your mental and emotional health is working on your self-concept. Being very mindful and aware of your perception of yourself is so helpful. You guys can check out some of my old podcast episodes if you're interested in seeing more self-concept type information. But your self-concept is your perception of yourself. And it's so important to make sure that you have a healthy perception of yourself, because this affects the jobs you attract, the partners you attract, affects the money, like all of the above, because how high you see yourself is how high your expectations will be of the things that you choose to attract for yourself. And we never want to live life in victim mindsets or blaming other people for our problems or feeling in a place of lack because of other circumstances. Like, you always want to maintain in a position of power and a position of like having a say in your own life. By working on your self-concept, you're going to make sure that you are doing this in the best way possible. You can do this by reading books, checking out, like I said, my podcast, checking out YouTubers. It's just so important to make sure that you're elevating your self-worth and self-confidence outside of other people's perception of you. Overall, just taking care of your mental and emotional health comes as well from having healthy lifestyle habits, making sure you're going to sleep at a good time, not scrolling on your phone all night, not being on your phone first thing in the morning, making sure you have a semi-sober lifestyle, not constantly having drugs in your system, having balanced lifestyle choices. Like, all of these things help you guys to become the best you, and it'll help you to become more whole all by yourself, so you're not completely reliant on people out of not having a choice. Like, it's so important to have a sense of autonomy in your own life, despite what other circumstances, people, or situations look like. So maintaining these healthy habits will absolutely get you on that track. The fourth thing that's going to help you guys to be whole all by yourself is prioritizing you, prioritizing your well-being, prioritizing your feelings, prioritizing your goals, prioritizing the things that you want to create for yourself in life. It is very, very important to make sure that you're keeping yourself as your top priority. I was saying a little bit earlier, it's like, if you're investing in yourself, taking care of like your sleeping habits, whatever, if someone's like, I'm going to call you at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., whatever. Like, no, you have to go to sleep. You prioritize your sleep. If someone's like, oh, let's hang out, but you have to go to the gym, right? Because you will naturally find that the people who are meant to be in your life will align with the habits that you're creating for yourself, and the people who are meant to be will be in alignment with that lifestyle you're trying to create for yourself. Make sure you're prioritizing your habits, your focus on yourself, and all of your energy on you as your top priority. It's not saying you can't prioritize other people or things. It's just saying make sure that you are your top priority, that you stay at the top of your mind so that you're not lost, that you're not distracted, you're not manipulated, you don't lose yourself, right? It's important to make sure that you're honoring you and you first. Make sure you guys are also choosing yourself always. Like, listen to your heart and your intuition. Especially as women, we have such strong intuition, and sometimes we know what's best for us, but especially as women, we are programmed in this society to put ourselves last, and that has not benefited us at all, right? So it's so important to make sure you're choosing yourself. If you feel uncomfortable in a situation, leave, walk away. If you do not want to have a conversation, you do not have to have that conversation. Like, things like that. Just make sure you're doing what you need to do to have the correct boundaries to protect yourself from experiences that do not serve you. And another thing, and probably the most important thing in terms of putting yourself first, only give to others once your cup is already overflowing. It does not serve you to give to others when you don't even have enough for yourself. I always feel like it's good to like give to somebody, but I used to have a fault at this actually when I was younger. Like, I would have not a lot of money, and then I give my friends that low-key had money when they said they needed money, and then like I would come to my parents and be like, I need more money, and they'd be like, why? We just gave you money. Like, why are you giving your money away when you don't even have it to give? And I had to learn that very young. It's like, you have to take care of yourself first before you're taking care of other people. And this could be in the form of saying like, I need this Sunday to myself. This could be the form of saying like, I need to say no to this event. I need to say no to this occasion. I need to say no to this conversation, whatever it is. Just make sure that you're prioritizing your well-being, your energy, your focus on yourself before giving to others financially in all ways, right? So that you can make sure that you're actually building, growing, and evolving in the ways you need to without depleting yourself first. So the fifth way that you are going to find yourself being whole all by yourself is investing in all forms of community. Okay, this is a big one. All right, and I need to follow this for myself. But making sure you're spending more time with your family members, your siblings, your parents, your nieces, your nephews, your aunts, uncles, all of the above. Like, spend more time with your family. There's so many different forms of love in this world, and I feel like a lot of people, they desire love specifically from just a partner, and that can be very unhealthy because your relationships with your partner will naturally blossom with you having more relationships in your life to focus on. You have to remember, like, it's a whole life, there's so many different types of love you want to involve yourself with. It's not like this desperate, I need this energy of person. Like, the more you have space to choose to love somebody, the more healthier that love is going to be. You can also find yourself enjoying friends or creating new friendships. This can be done. You guys can find events on Eventbrite and like find events in your city, local events in your city, going online and like connecting with somebody through a TikTok comment, or just joining my live. By the way, I go live Monday through Fridays, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., 4 to 6 p.m. on my live at Ambria on TikTok. I actually do Baddie psychic tarot readings. If you guys didn't know, make sure you check that out. I have so many baddies over there you guys can make friends with as well, online friends, right? But it's super important to make sure that you're forming these other connections and just spending time with people that you love outside of just a relationship, because this is going to help you to foster a sense of community and to make you understand you have other support systems and you're feeling less alone, because it could be very dangerous to enter relationships if you are not like having other relationships in your life. So just make sure you guys are very mindful of that. Finally, you can also connect with animals, children, nature, right? There's so many different forms of love in the universe that are provided for us that are not just in the form of a specific partner. So make sure that you guys are filling up your own cup. Like, we need that as humans. We need more forms of love than just romantic. So many different types, familial, friendships. Even when the sun is shining on you, it's love, right? That's one of my favorite quotes. So just important to make sure you guys are dabbling in all aspects of love in the universe. And finally, our fifth and final tip when it comes to being whole all by yourself is understanding that you are the prize, okay? You are the top priority. You are meant to make yourself happy first. You are the person that comes first in your life. You are the one to win. You are the one to impress. And you are the one that others must prove themselves. And you do not have to have anybody in your life that you do not want to, right? You can literally have boundaries against anything that does not resonate with you. And it's important just to remember that, right? Not to have other people on a pedestal that you feel like you need to prove yourself to, or that you have to answer to, because you truly only have to answer to yourself, the divine, take it as it resonates. So make sure that you're honoring yourself by understanding understanding like your true value on this planet as a person with so much value and a person that has so much to offer to the world around them. So make sure you guys have those proper boundaries. See yourself clearly as that baddie that you are, and make sure you guys are doing whatever you need to do to maintain this energy of being whole all by yourself. So thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode of The Baddest You. Don't forget to add me on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at Ambria Hearty. Check out The Baddest You on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and on my YouTube channel at Ambria Hearty. And I will see you guys on next week's episode of The Baddest You. Bye, baddies. Mwah.